Into this world we have come alone, और जाए भी अकेला. And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. Although everyone lives, I am still alone. आए भी अकेला और जाए भी अकेला.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. को पाले, खेल जगत का सारा उसी न है खेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहते हुए मैं हूँ अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
2 दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के तू करते गुमान। 2 दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के करते गुमान। मार्ग चलते मोछ मनोरथ, मर्याद सब भाई के। मार्ग चलते मोछ मनोरथ, मर्याद सब भाई के। पर धन देख के मन अब ललचे, पर धन देख के मन अब ललचे। निकल गई बेईमान रे। 2 दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के करते गुमान। 2 दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के करते गुमान। पर सुख देखी के मन अब जलते, जैसे अग्नि के खार से। पर सुख देखी के मन अब जलते, जैसे अग्नि के दास रे। आन के बधाई सुनकर मूरख, आन के बधाई सुनकर मूरख हुए हैं पूरा लबार रे। 2 दिन की मेहमान जगत में का हरते हैं अपना जाल बिछाई के। पर धन निर्या जो हरते हैं अपना जाल फैलाई के। राम लाल सुनो भाई संतो, राम लाल सुनो भाई संत, उनसे रहो होशियार। दो दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के तुकर दो दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के कर दो दिन की मेहमान जगत में काहे के कर।
कोई नाल जय है धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाल जय है धन बांध के घटरिया, धन बांध के घटरिया, धन बांध के घटरिया, धन बांध के घटरिया, धन बांध के घटरिया रे। कोई नाल जय है धन बांध के घटरिया। जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठे, हाँ जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठे, उलट गए दोनों नैन पतरिया, उलट गए दोनों नैन पतरिया रे। कोई नाल दे धन बांध के घटरिया। मारही सूता प्राण निकाले, मारही सूता प्राण निकाले, प्राण लोकाई खोटरिया खोटरिया, ओ प्राण लोकाई खोटरिया खोटरिया रे। कोई नाले जय धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय है धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय है धन बांध के घटरिया। चार प्रहर मिली काट उठावे, चार प्रहर मिली काट उठावे, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया रे। कोई नाल जय है धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय है धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय है धन। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, कहत कबीर, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, छूट गए सब महल उतरिया, छूट जाए सब महल उतरिया। कोई नाले दे धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई ना ले जाइए धन बांध के घटरिया, अरे कोई ना ले जाइए धन बांध के।
परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण, है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन। देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, कर ले अभिवादन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले, परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले। किरण किरण को निरख नयन से, ओ किरण किरण को मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन।
One day this life will leave this body, and I will exist no more in this material world. Every living being must eventually marry the bride of death. Let not the mind lust at physical wealth and pleasures. The services that we can perform, do it now, for you may never get the opportunity to pass this way again. Glorify the name of the Lord and receive His blessings. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. One day we will all have to leave this world.
एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, मौज कर देख तमाशा, खेलने को खेला, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, फिर नहीं आना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। कौरी कौरी करके जोरी, कौरी कौरी करके जोरी, भरा खजाना जंगल जाए जा बंदे रे, जंगल जाए जा बंदे रे, फिर पछताना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है।
इतना तो करना स्वामी, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम ले जी का तट हो, जमुना का तट निकट हो। यह तो गंगा जी का तट हो, जमुना का तट निकट हो। और सावरा निकट हो, जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी, जब प्राण तन से निकले।
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. This one. Point, you know. Right. Right. So we have to go down. We're going so. Waterloo. All right. Are we gonna? All ready to start? We're not ready to start. Are you waiting a little bit for people to come and think Waterloo? At least when I go low down that volume a little bit. The PM. Where's that? Yeah, good, right. No worry, whoever have to offer, they go offer. Who want to come and offer, you go. Are you go? You go cut up the malani for we, so they go have it breaking already. Okay, come stand up here. Sorry. What was your grandmother name again?
Dolly Boolan.
Dolly. So, 1 second. I want to do the program. So who talking? You speaking? And who are you?
I don't know.
So I want to make
Trisha is the
everything.
lady in charge.
Who's speaking? And anybody speaking?
No, only you say a few words.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it? All right. No, I just want, I don't want to make it like yes, you're looking for somebody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's all.
Prem Solo Krishna Chan Maharaj ki jai. Let us all stand please for a couple of moments. So this morning we are going to perform the Antyeshti Samskar of Aji here, who we all knew in life as Mrs. Dolly Boolan. So this morning we are performing Antyeshti Samskar. Ant meaning the end. End of what? End of the physical experience and the beginning of the spiritual experience. And so in the 16 sanskaras of Sanatan Dharma, these 16 sanskaras or 16 rituals throughout life culminates with the Antyeshti or the funeral, meaning that you have now completed everything. Now everything is perfect. You are back, you are going home now. So this is a homecoming ceremony, the end of the physical experience and the beginning of the spiritual experience. So now we worship to that Supreme Father of the universe. It is told, Ek Bhagavate Vasudevaya Yam Brahma Varunendra Maruta Sunvanti Divyaistavir Vedai Sangapada Kropanisadai Gayanti Yama Samaga Dhyana Astita Tadagatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalang Pangulang Ghayate Giring Yat Kripatamahang Bande Paramanandang Madhavam Om Anadhi Nidhano Deva Sankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksho Prado Bhava Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om राम नाम सत्य यही सबका गत है. You can have a seat now. Take the flowers and bring both for you. Give me the flowers for me. Very good. Stand right here, yeah? You have flowers here? Give me. Right. That is Sankalp, right? All right, good. Thank you. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Right, good. Say after. Hold here. Say Om Shri Vishnu Adya Jambu Dvipe Bharat Khande Trinidad and Tobago Deshe Tilen Punya Kshetre Vedo Phal Prapti Kamana Siddhyarthi. Shri, say your name. Right? Namaham. This is Dolly Boolan. Pret Antyeshti Sanskar Aham Sankalp Karishye. Om Krishna Arpana. Just put it right here for me. Take this water and 5 times ritually we purify the body. Say Om Shri Vishnu as you sprinkle the water. Om Shri Vishnu. Om Apavitra Pavitra Sarvastham Gato Apiva Yahasmaret Pundarika Angsham Sabahya Bhyantara Suchihi. Om Shri Vishnu. Om Shri Vishnu. Om Shri Vishnu. Take the pointing finger. This one. Mix it tika. Put here any brahmchak for liberation. Put not on the orni, put it on the head. Om. Right, take tika again. Gandham Dwarang. 2 sides of the ears. Duradarsang Nityang Pushti Karishining Ishwaring Sarva neck. Tami Hope Hari Priyam. Right. Bring the essence for me. Go this side for me. And around the whole body you spray this essence right around. Om Gandha Dwara Duradarsang Nityang Pushti Karishining Ishwaring Sarva Bhutanang 5 times. Tami Hope Hari Priyam. Gandham Samarpayami Preta Moksho Pradobha. Bring the mala. Just bring one of the pinda firstly, then I go put the mala. So when I do the arti, we'll go one time. Give me. Come back here. Hold this. Say after me. Om Adya Mukha Gotrasya Dolly Boolan Pretasya Mriti Sthane Shaunimit Eshate Pindo Maya Diyate Tavo Patishtata. Come this side here now. Put it in your right hand. Move your see what you have it till any water, eh? You may till any water to put it till pan. Stay right there, open your hand like this for me. Let it drop on the pinda, move the cloth, eh? Om Preta, Terpayani, Terpayani, Terpayani. Good. You go to the light up and now, right? Where you are. Yes. Purimala, Om Gandham Mala Janang Samarpayami. Pull it up a little higher. Good, good. Now we go to Arati. So we are going to have Arati now. And any member of the relatives who would like to come after to do Arati, and then anyone who wishes to do Arati can do so. So you are arting continuously over the body and you're walking around clockwise, right? Let us all stand if you can stand. Oh, yes. Arti. Jamdware Mahaghore and check 5 times. Jamdware Mahaghore Andhina Tamasavrita Tatvaloka Arthaya Deepo Yamupastitat Harihi Om. बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे। बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या का। झूठी दुनिया झूठी बंधन झूठी है यह माया, झूठी दुनिया झूठी बंधन झूठी है यह माया, झूठी सांस का आना जाना झूठी है यह काया। ओ यह सच तेरा नाम रे बाऊ, बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा मुझे। Bring the malas and so. रंग में तेरे रंग गई गिरिधर, चोर दिया जग सारा। रंग में तेरे रंग गई गिरिधर, चोर दिया जग सारा। बन गई तेरी प्रेम की जोगन, लेकर मन एक तारा। ओ मुझे प्यार तेरा नाम रे, बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया। राजस्थान रह गया द्वार जी। बनवारी रे, no, stay right there and do arti. Stay right where you are, just do the arti right around the body. दर्शन तेरा जिस दिन पाऊं, हर चिंता मिट जाए। जीवन मेरे इन चरणों में आस की ज्योति जलाए। ओ मोरी हाथ पकड़ लो शाम रे, बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे। Holy Thali firstly, that's how put the mala, then into arti. दर्शन तेरा जिस दिन पाऊं, हर चिंता मिट जाए। दर्शन तेरा जिस दिन पाऊं, हर चिंता मिट जाए। जीवन मेरा इन चरणों में आस की ज्योति जलाए। ओ मोरी हाथ पकड़ लो शाम रे, बनवारी रे जीने का सहारा तेरा नाम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे, मुझे दुनिया वालों से क्या काम रे। You give them the bag of flowers, they go hand people. They have plenty of flowers.
Yeah, you see, have to hold the center one.
Give them. Give one of them, but hold it. जय जय रघुपति राघव, राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राघव, राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, भजु मन प्यारे सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, भजु मन प्यारे सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राघव, राजा राम पतित। ऊंचा नीचा एक समान, सबको सन्मति दे। ओ ऊंचा नीचा एक समान, सबको सन्मति दे। जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन जय रघुनंदन जय घनश्याम अवध बिहारी सीताराम जय रघुनंदन जय घनश्याम अवध बिहारी सीताराम जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन राम राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीता राम राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीता जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम पतित पावन plenty flowers man, they use it out. जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा फिर तू ही न खेवन वाला हो फिर तू भी बेड़ा पार करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरा ओ चरण मुरारी हो चरण मुरारी चरण मुरारी हो चरण मुरारी मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी दीन दयाल जगत प्रतिपालक दीन दयाल जगत प्रतिपालक भगतन के हितकारी मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरार ओ मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी हरि का नाम जहाज जगत में हरि का नाम जहाज जगत में भव सागर जल तारी ए भैया भव सागर जल तारी मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी क्या माया में फिरत भुलायो सिर पर काल सवारी मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी ओ मेरो मन भजले चरण मुरारी प्रेम से लोग कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय टेक द फ्लावर्स एंड पुट इट देयर put What is that?
Flowers,
Oh, you have plenty flowers. You could put after, they could dress up.
put it from now on, you get ready down.
Yeah, go put it out. Give me put out all that.
Better.
Yeah, very good with it. You have no use again. Who want to come and watch now?
Exactly.
Take and decorate the whole. All the help. Take another put. Yeah, sing, na.
मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम लोचन मन में जगी न हो तू युगल चरण में ले लो राम मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम जीवन देखी जाल बिछाया रच के माया नाच नचाया चिंता मेरी कभी मिटेंगे जब चिंतन में ले लो राम मुझे अपनी शरण में
All finished? Nothing good? Now, you know how to later. Put not touch the body with it, put her wrong, right? Sorry. Somebody had to come off a mala again?
मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम हे राम हे राम
They buy the cloth or anything to spread? Only that they have.
Yeah, they have, but they buy clothes.
Let me see what they had. What they had? Let me see what they had.
So one bring that one.
And this is what?
Leave this now, go use for sheep and hand.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, leave this, go use for sheep and
राम मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम
How old is your sister was, boy? How old? 88?
Cross 88. Not
88. Okay. You too. You go first. She need a mic. She need a mic. Cool. She need a mic. You have one?
So first, on behalf of the family, I want to welcome
Yeah?
So on behalf of the entire family, I want to welcome all of you and thank all those who have helped in any way to ensure that Dolly has a good passing. Dolly Boolan, as what we call her Dolyah, was the eldest of 14 children. She was a lady who went through plenty trials and tribulations in her life, but she never stopped smiling. She had her 4 children, and she actually experienced the loss of 2 of her sons and a granddaughter, and despite all of that, she stood strong. She was a lady who, when her last child was 6 months old, her husband left. She stayed single for her whole life. She was a single parent. She worked very hard. She sold in the market, she planted gardens, she cooked roti. She worked all kinds of honest jobs to ensure that her children had food on the table. She was somebody who was very honest and hardworking. And as a matter of fact, she used to cook for any wedding, any prayers, anything. She was one of the best cooks. And some of the younger people may not know this, but people her generation will remember what Dolyah cooking was like. In fact, she was one of those, like if she's cooking, she would burn pepper, you know. When you chunky in food, you'll chunky pepper. But when we were in our old days, we didn't have a closed kitchen, so it was in an open air, so you wouldn't smell the pepper. But when Dolyah cooking in a closed place and she chunky the pot and the pepper started to smell, everybody would start to run out of the kitchen. And she would insist you have to burn the pepper for the food to cook good. I don't know how many of you remember, maybe the older generation, when she used to sell pulori and sahina and chutney and so by the railway there. And she was the best. As a matter of fact, she would sell whatever she made, but didn't make a profit. She'd give you free. From the time you like what she's doing, she'd give you extra. So she might just make to buy back her ingredients, but she was so happy when people enjoyed her food. So she was a lady who was very peaceful. And in our home, when she would come, whenever we had any problem, whether it is somebody died, somebody sick, somebody made an accident, any problems we had, she'd be there. She'd come and spend weeks and months sometimes. She was there in the good times, she was there in the bad times. She devoted her entire life to her children and later her grandchildren, especially her grandsons. She would get up 4 o'clock in the morning at 80 years old and cook so these boys could get food to go to work and go with their trucks and things like that. Today, out of 14 of us, only 7 have remained. 3 girls and 4 boys. So for us, it's a very sad time because she was the eldest and she stood strong with us at all times. I want to thank Dolyah for everything she did, for our family, for all of us. She suffered gracefully, but I know she has gone in a good place. I want to thank Dudi and her children for looking after her, and Jiwan, and all those who helped in whatever way. But in the end, her daughter and her granddaughter stood up. Until the end, they look after her. God will always bless you, Dudi, and your children, and Jiwan for being there in support. Even though boy and brother and those have left and gone to heaven, she stayed strong. I remember the day when Naris died, and we had to bring the news to her. We told her, we'll give her in a nice way that he died. She cried, but she kept strength. On the day of the funeral, she stood strong and she went and did all her, the arati and everything never broke down, because she wanted to do the best for boy in the end. That's the kind of lady she was. I don't believe in this generation there will ever be somebody like her. And today we are proud of her. And I know she has gone to a good place. And for all those whose lives she has touched, I know she will always be in your heart. From my parents, I mean, she would give her life for them. And you know, some people when they get married and they go into their family, they only concern with their family, their children and their grandchildren. She never forgot her sisters and brothers. So while she loved her children and grandchildren, she always looked out for her brothers and sisters. And that is why today we cherish her so much. We are so sorry that at the end she was so ill, but God knows best. Wherever she has gone now, she has gone in a good place. So Dolyah, rest in peace, girl. You were good to everybody. And God will always bless you, and you'll meet all those who have gone before you.
Prem Solo Krishna Bhagwan Ki Jai. I wanted my sister Hulsi to speak before I spoke, because her message, having done quite a number of funerals in this family, the Bhagan family and extension, you know, Hulsi is a good historian. And for us, the younger generation, to understand the struggles of our people, you know, this lady was 88 years when she left this world, and she experienced what our ancestors have experienced in Trinidad and Tobago over the past 177 years. But you know, no matter all her struggles and whatever, as Hulsi said, she was strong and never allowed the circumstances to bring her down. No matter if she was depressed inside or whatever inside suffering, she never showed that suffering to the outside, because she wanted to encourage the younger generation to be strong as well. And this week is Memorial Week. This week is a red letter week in our Indian history, in our Indian diaspora. 177 years our ancestors left and made that journey from 1845 to 1917, and they worked very hard and suffered. We, the generation now, would not understand and know this suffering. People like her and her age, they would have been experienced in this suffering, and they would have been related with the generations who came from our motherland, and they would have known the struggle of not eating. When you read books like Salt and Roti, and we laugh at that, that is what they had to eat sometime. If they're lucky to get roti. And they work very hard and struggle, and as I say, they bind their belly and they feed their children and went to sleep hungry for us. And they kept their culture, they kept their lifestyle. You always saw her with her urni and everything. You know, you saw her very respectful, and you know, but her silence was her strength, and this was the strength of our ancestors, their silence. They suffered in secret. They suffered internally for us to experience happiness today. I remember one of my good friends, who'll see them know Pona, and Pona would tell me how he would sit with his father, and when his father take out the plate and get the plate of food, he would take off from his plate one cow. No cow mean a hand, little morsel, and feed all the children, and what done remain, then he will eat. That is how our ancestors live, and she is a personification of the suffering that our people went through to preserve our lives. And so all the degree and big house and everything that we have is because of the lifestyle and sacrifice of people like her. And so she has worked out her karma. The Lord has seen it fit to take her away. But in your family, in our society, we have lost a gem. Someone who was an inspiration through the lifestyle of suffering and enduring. And that is the beauty of our people. No matter what religion you are, we Indian people, this is our, you see, endurance is something that is built in our DNA. And she was a good exemplar of this. She never allowed whatever it may be to change her lifestyle. She always lived her one way. teaching us that we must be more frivolous as younger Indian people too. I have to go away from the funeral. This is a life lesson. Wealth don't change you, education don't change you, be who you are. Because in the bhajan it says, Chand na badala, suraj na badala, na badal gaya asaman. Kitna badal gaya insan. The sun don't change, the moon don't change, the sky don't change, but how man has changed. For what? Dhan daulat. Money. Never allow Western lifestyle to take you away from who you are. Always be proud of who you are. And so she has gone, we have lost a gem. I pray that Bhagwan Krishna will give her peace in the hereafter, in the highest realm of Goloka, that she never returns to suffering. For she has suffered enough. She has experienced enough. And what makes her a gem, she endured in the pressure and became a diamond. Can we do that today? So in my prayer from my family, that is Aji, go on in peace and happiness. I have known her for a little while. I can't remember how long. Even before I know my dog. But not today. This year is 28 years I've been puja. So much, I know this family about, like family itself, the Bhagan family. So maybe over 20 years. And our history go back to Govavan. So I pray that her soul is in peace. And let us do what is right for her soul to live in peace. All the rituals and prayerfulness, that she lives in peace and be one with the ancestors in the heavenly regions under the shelter of Bhagwan Krishna. So this is my message this morning. I know it's raining a lot and we have to go in a different place rather than close by, for whatever reason. So today, I want us to join in a little prayer as we ask Bhagwan to shower blessings upon the Atma and to receive her in the highest paradise. So let us clasp our hands and close our eyes as we do a very short prayer. Then we will do our closing prayer. Harihi Om Anadhi Nidhano Deva Sankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kanksha Preta Moksho Prado Bhava Narayanang Surasreshtha Lakshmi Kantavar Prabhu Anena Tarpanena Iva Preta Moksho Prado Bhava Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Let us stand, please. Come. Here I can. As we pray together, we are of maybe different faiths, but we all pray to the same Bhagwan. Before I close this morning, I want you all, if by chance this Atma, this soul, when was embodied in this body, had hurt you in any way, please pray for her and forgive her. If she owed you any debts in any way, I ask you to pray and forgive her debts, that her soul goes light, enlightened and joyous through the gateways of heaven. So I give you one moment of silent prayer to pray in your own way for her soul at this time. Om Jao Shanti Rantanikshagwang Shanti Prithave Shanti Rapa Shanti Arushadhaya Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Sushanti Bhavatu Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva त्वमेव बन्धो च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। राम नाम सत्य है, यही सबका गत है। Just bow. So you can come and view, and then we will do the first manzil there where the water isn't there on the place there, and then we will make our way. Dance pisa gold and thing. He have it there.
Oh, the boy put in pocket.
This boy?
The boy with
You had the gold in your pocket, right?
Yes, I gave him the
Yeah,
gold
good.
in
You had
his
the tulsi leaf for them to put on the lip and over there because it has fall out here now.
pocket. No, what's everything inside?
I want some tulsi leaf.
Have-
No, it down. Yeah. Huh? Yes, go.
Yes.
Go our 3 piece. Leave it right here, now. We go use it over there when we go there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
We have enough leaf and everything, huh?
Yes.
Right, good. We have 4. Right, so we have, right, so that is it. See, when you put tulsi leaf there, it fall out, and when you go over there, everything fall out. I'll put it there one time, but the gold and everything one time, I'll put it there. Yeah, you hit on the top of
और जाए भी अकेला.
it.
And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize
तू कितनी अच्छी है, तू कितनी भोली है, प्यारी प्यारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, कि ये जो दुनिया है, ये वन है कांटों का, तू फुलवारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, दुखन लागी है माँ तेरी अखियाँ, दुखन लागी है माँ तेरी अखियाँ, मेरे लिए जागी है तू, मेरे लिए जागी है तू, सारी सारी रतियाँ मेरी निंदिया पे, अपनी निंदिया भी तूने वारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई। मैं मुस्काया तू मुस्काई, मैं मुस्काया तू मुस्काई, मैं रोया तू रोई, मेरे हंसने पे मेरे रोने पे तू बलहारी है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ,
ये लास्ट अंतरा सबसे ज़्यादा मेरा फेवरेट है। बहुत सुंदर लिखा है। क्या लिखा है सुनिए।
माँ बच्चों की जान होती है,
5 times sprinkling water
माँ
over the body. You say Om Shri Vishnu. Everything I water, Om Shri Vishnu. The name of Lord Vishnu purifies everything over the head. Apavitra pavitra sarvastham gato piva. Yah smarit pundarikakam savahya abhyantara suchihi. Put it down. Take the pinda in the left hand and put it in the right hand. I mean right hand, sorry, put it in left hand. Take it on and put it in the next hand. Right, take that in your hand. Om Adya Mukha Gotrasya Mukha Pretyasya Dwar Deshe Pantanimit Vishudevata Eshate Pindo Maya Diyate Taopatishitam. Put in your hand. Take that in your hand. Om Pretya Namaha Tarpayami. Right. Arti. Hold that for me. Right. Right. Come here. Over the face, right? Give me. I like it. Right, over the face and just put it down easy. Right? Om Jamdware Mahaghore Andhenata Masavrita Tatvaloka Arthaya Deepoyam Upastitat Pancha Tattva Visarjanam Preta Moksho Pradobhava. Right? Put it down wrong there. Come here now, facing south. Take your lota water. Of water 5 times. Just drop 5 times. Just drop it down. Pancha Tattva Visarjanam Preta Moksho Pradobhava. The 5 elements has now gone. The soul is now in peace. Right. Okay. Ram Naam Satya hai. Roll up the cloth. Leave it on the ground. Okay. Leave the cloth on the ground. Or everybody face south. Let the taller fellas come to the head. The shorter fellas go to the foot.
You are over by the head?
Yeah, you go stay here. 2 more fellas. Leave the cloth, eh?
Yeah. Let one man come here.
One will come on this side.
Let one man come here.
Right. Lift and put on your shoulder, facing south. Next. Shoulder.
Yeah.
And walk. Say Ram Naam Satya hai. Ram Naam Satya hai. Ram Naam Satya hai. We'll be umbrella. Alright. Alright, thanks. You doing all the prayers, right? For everything for the shaving and bhandara, everything.
For the children, for wedding.
Oh, you doing bhandara? Okay, good. Excuse me.